Hey, friends, welcome to the Creator Factor podcast. I am your host who loves you the most, Ozeal. And today I'm going to push back, throw the right hook, 1-2 combination to something I heard. I've been seeing this across the internets. That's right, I say internets. Regarding some of these podcast gurus and coaches, you might have seen this before where they're running ads and they're saying everyone needs a podcast. You should start a podcast. You're missing you're missing the opportunity and yada yada yada. There's a lot of that going on, right? There's a phrase that marketers ruin everything. This is part of that argument here. I disagree with the statement that everyone needs a podcast because I believe that not everyone should start a podcast. And if you've been thinking about launching your own show, you need to hear this before you press record, before you invest in the equipment, the studios, all the bells and whistles you need or you think you need to launch a successful podcast. All right. Before we kind of dig into that, I want to share with you a story. It's story time with Ozeal. Okay. Over the past 5 years, I've coached some pretty amazing thought leaders in brands. I've been really honored to be able to do this. Some great podcast launches, some really good ones actually that really stick out. And I've also had, on the flip side, some clients that weren't the right fit for several reasons, but clients that just, it didn't pan out. And I've had people come up to me thinking about a podcast, some of these that wanted to get 6 figures in 6 months right out the gate, having these big, lofty, ambitious goals, which I'm all about being ambitious, especially as a content creator, but also being around people that just are chasing trends with no real purpose or passion behind the message and the value that they should be delivering with the content they're putting out. One client in particular comes to mind. She thought that podcasting would just skyrocket her book sales. She was a professional in her industry. She was also launching a book, and she wanted a podcast to be able to help her with book sales, etc. And she had a really strong following, strong influence with the social media, thousands of people. But when I looked at her brand, she had a few things that she was missing the mark on. The opportunities were, she had no email list. Number one, she had really no solid brand foundation, and she had no long-term plan. Again, she was really good at posting and building up a social media following, but she didn't really have a long-term plan in regards to her business. And we were able to build like a really good podcast brand for her. But as the saying goes, you can't build a house on quicksand. And this was definitely the case with this individual. She produced 11 episodes, and she quickly pod faded after the 11th episode. Done. And that experience, and that one in particular, really reinforced something that I want to share with every client of mine and share this with you, especially if you're considering starting a podcast, in that podcasting isn't a quick fix. It isn't a get rich scheme either. It's not a magic button for more sales. It's not going to make you an influencer overnight. Podcasting is a brand and relationship builder. Okay. It's about showing up week after week, building trust with your community, and giving value before you ask for anything in return. Very much like a business, right? You create a great product, quality service, and almost like you don't have to do any marketing because it's such an exceptional product that you'll put the word out and people will come and the market will tell you whether or not it's good or not, period. Right. And sometimes as business owners, as brands, we have to make some pivots and make some adjustments, but the market really decides how good your quality or how good your product is. And podcasting is a little bit different. There's some variables. I mean, podcasting, if you enjoy what you do and it's more of a slow burn, it does take some time to build. Podcasts, I've been in a few launches that right out the gate, we had successful launches and they're just amazing. It just hits their specific niches and it lands well with the people. And then it's a home run. There's others that it's more of a slow burn and then we get it there. And then it becomes, successful after, 2 years or 3 years, but we get it there, making tweaks. So again, depending on the niche and depending on the podcast brand. So I wanted to share this because as a podcast coach, I wanted to share this because there are certain individuals and brands that really determine the success of a podcast. And I will share with you who I love working with, who are my people. They come from a different mindset, right? If you're watching this, you're probably part of that same fabric. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about people that they have a real mission, a passion to educate, to edify, to empower their people. Number two, they understand the art of the long game. They know that podcasting, if you've seen some of the most successful podcasters out there, you name it, they've been in this for a long, long time. They've been in the trenches. So they're in it for the long game, not the short gain or to have, bukus of book sales or make a 6-figure income in 6 months or whatever. They're in it for the long game. And then number three, they believe in value first. All the podcasters that have successful shows believe in the value first approach. They believe in making sure that they're, again, educating, they're edifying, they're empowering their people. That's what they strive to do. That's their aim, first and foremost, value. The fourth is they have a leadership mentality. That's one of the things that I will say really stands out from the successful podcasters from the one that just pod fade out. They really have a leadership mentality. Again, they want to provide value. And again, do you see the common thread with all of these? They want to lead and they want to share. And that's something that really, again, determines whether or not a podcaster would be successful or not. And then lastly, the fifth one would be they see podcasting, and I say this all the time, but they see podcasting as a relational platform, not a transactional one. Let me repeat that. The most successful podcasters see this medium as a relational platform, not a transactional platform. That's the foundation that every successful podcast has and will make it last for the long game. So again, I wanted to share this because I've been seeing this online, and I do feel that because podcasting is such a hot medium right now for many reasons, especially with the video podcasting emerging and more people are gravitating towards this medium of starting a podcast. It's important to make sure that we distinguish what makes great shows from the ones that are average or below average. And if you are a thought leader, you're a coach, consultant, a business owner, entrepreneur, think about before you invest in the mic, before you invest in all the resources, the coaching, it can get pretty expensive quickly. Ask yourself, are you ready to educate, edify, and empower? Are you in it for the long game? Are you in this because you believe in value first? Do you have a leadership mentality? Do you believe in the relationships you will build as a podcaster and not transactional ones? If you can answer yes to all of those, that means you are ready to launch a podcast. I do believe that podcasting is one of the most powerful tools for any brand or business. And if you want to start launching or start a podcast the right way, make sure that you check all the boxes before you get involved. All right. If you're ready to launch your own podcast, I do have 3 coaching sessions available for the month of October. Okay. I will make sure that I post the link at the very top of the show notes. You can click on it. We can jump on a discovery call and we can talk about your goals, your mission, any questions that you have. I'm going to be an open book. I will drop game on you. I will share everything that I will, not everything, but I will definitely help you get clarity on your podcasting goals. And then from there, if we decide that it's a good fit for both of us, then we can definitely work on creating a plan and start working together on helping you launch this branded, top-rated podcast. All right. There's also a link for you for a free downloadable. It's a giveaway for you to check out. So please, it's free. It's on the house. It's a podcast marketing PDF. And of course, if you're a follower of the Creator Factor podcast, thank you so much for checking out and supporting the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit like and subscribe and comment down below. And if you follow the show on the audio platforms, thank you so much. Make sure you hit the follow. We want to make sure that we get those follows up so you can stay updated on all the latest podcast episodes. Sounds good? Todo bien? All right, my friends. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Until next time, peace and one love, y'all.